had to play my man Tikman Nimlin. That's my guy. He's one of those Liberian artists that will forever remain a legend to me. But anyway, my name is Nimli Topa, and that's how my family calls me. If I went to school with you, especially Cax Kingdom Cathedral, everybody called me MTOG. Yeah, it's a name that I had to, that just manifested, and then my family, everybody calls me M Talk. So if you're in this audience, call me M Talk. But my fellow Liberians, I have something very important that I want to put forth today, 26th of July, 2023. I know some of you already had your 26th. I'm just having mine, as you can see. But it is also important for us to understand where we are as a nation. And as a nation, we are a democratic nation, so that means we govern by the Constitution. However, the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia has not been checked on for over 17 years. For over 17 years, we have deprived the people the franchise of voting in leaders for 17 years. But let me talk about the Constitution for a little bit. So the Constitution is the fundamental law of the Republic of Liberia, and it's like a three-legged stool. It functions through three main bodies: the executive, the Senate or the legislature, and the judiciary. These three branches of government is what makes us to have what we call democracy, because it is government for the people, of the people, by the people. Maybe I got it all mixed up, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So basically, this government function because of the people and not individuals. And this three-legged stool must be checked and balanced. There must be check and balance. The executive must check the judiciary must check the Senate. The judiciary really doesn't check anybody. The judiciary just wait for arbitration, basically, between what goes on in the executive and the legislature. However, our Constitution has been infringed upon. Citizens of the Republic of Liberia have been disenfranchised. They're supposed to be able to vote, but they are not voting for, they're not electing those leaders who are supposed to make decisions for them in their communities. So something must have happened for a very important part of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia to just be ignored. One of the ways that the Constitution functions is that the Constitution is a dynamic. They say the Constitution is a living being, so to speak, because the Constitution is of the people. It is how the people reflect the sand of time. That the Constitution must also reflect that sand of time. There was once in the history of Liberia, women could not vote. There came a sand of time. The Constitution was amended, and women became voters. My problem here today is that there is a part of the Constitution that has been ignored for over 2 decades. And it is as though our legislature don't know that this is probably one of the most important constitutional right that is given to the people directly to elect leaders that will make decisions for them in their community. So, for 17 years, the Liberian legislature has disenfranchised the Liberian people. But let me say here, the matter is that, do we have legislatures who are supposed to be the guardian of the Constitution? Is there a committee within the legislative body that, is the guardian of the Constitution? Because I don't see how can a law that is so very important to the people of the Republic of Liberia is like taking away their votes. It's like it's a law, but the people are not practicing that law. They are not functioning. They're not functioning within that law, because that law has just been shut down, put in a box, and sealed. It's like nobody wants to talk about it. And I just wanted to let you know that there are ways you can amend the Constitution. In order to amend the Constitution, you have to have a resolution, and that resolution has to be two-thirds, meaning that both the Senate and the representative have to have a two-thirds vote in order to pass a resolution. And when that resolution is passed, it goes to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court check and balance it against the Constitution. But then it is also determined by the sand of time. Okay? And those who lobby to have their votes or their resolution heard by the Supreme Court sometimes win. We just had a situation. There was a law in the United States of America, 50 years old, just got amended. Another one just got amended. The Constitution is a living body. But when the Constitution is not respected by the legislature of the Republic of Liberia, then there is a problem. And that is my problem too. That is the problem of every Liberian, because the Constitution is supposed to function. Now, while I've taken you all on this wild goose chase, let me come to the crust of the matter. I have two articles here. One was, this article is by the Analyst, and it's dated September 19, 2006. And this other article is by the New Dawn, and is dated October 20, 2021. Same constitutional situation, 17 years difference. Plus 3 more years that has added to it, 2 decades that we have had this law in the Republic of Liberia, and it is not functioning. It is not functioning for the 5.2 million people of Liberia, if I have to be correct. If we are 5.2, correct me somebody. But to disenfranchise 5.2 million people just because somebody told you that, oh, listen, man, we don't need that law right now, is a total, it means that our representatives are not working. It means our senators are not working. It means that we need to start checking on them if they can check themselves. So I'll read this article. This article says that okay, this is the Analyst 2006. The opposition New Deal Movement Party has reacted to the request by President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf that she should be given the power to appoint city mayor. The Liberian leader recently wrote the Liberian Senate, praying for executive and exclusive power that will enable appointment, that will enable appoint city mayor, saying that her request was due to the lack of resources to conduct municipal election. But the party, in letter dated September 18, 2006, and addressed to Mr. Isaac Nyenabo, President pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, prayed there for categorically rejection of the request according to the New Deal. It took the action because it is incumbent upon it to make contribution to the socio-economic and political development of our nation, as we have constantly done on critical issue of national concern. The party, in the letter signed by the party national chairman T. Wilson Gay, said, "We believe the popular democracy that requires popular participation at the community grassroots level is manifested in municipal chieftaincy and other local elections." It said Liberians could only participate in the decision-making process of their country by getting involved in the electoral process, noting to abort holding of such election is feeble grounds that there is no money. On feeble grounds that there is no money is tantamount to abrogation of the Constitution. Now, this was written in 2006. So it is, you know, not to insult anyone's intelligence, but the president does not set the budget. It's the Senate that sets the budget. So why is the president requesting to the Senate that because of budgetary because she doesn't have budget for municipal election, so she cannot have election? It is not the executives that handle budgeting of the country. Let my Liberian brothers and sisters, let me let you know that it is the Senate and the House of Representatives that budget for the Republic of Liberia. The presidency can send in a budget that is to be looked over by the legislative branch, but the presidency cannot make a budget. Let's get that clear. So I don't know, and so I am so grateful that the New Deal movement party was able to react to Ellen. The question here is, what happened? What really happened? What happened after that? You know? Was Ellen given the power? Was there a resolution? Did we get a 2/3 majority to say, okay, yes? Did the Supreme Court go over this transaction? I don't know. I really do not know. And when did it happen? I mean, was there news about it? If there is news about it, I'll call upon the news outlets in the Republic of Liberia to please inform us as to how this, because it's supposed to be an amendment. You just can't say, oh, we don't have money, so you just shut down the Constitution. You cannot shut down the Constitution. There is no way you can shut down the Constitution. The Constitution is a living, working instrument. So you can shut it down. In order for you to shut it down, you have to go through a process. I just want to know if that process took place. That is my question. Did Ellen get a resolution of 2/3 majority from the House of Representatives or the House of somebody? Somebody got to explain something. You know, it's high time that we Liberians would just sit around and allow our legislatures to just not pay attention to important things. Like, for instance, there was so much legislation that went on during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government that had to do with economic development, and you know, nobody knows what happened. There was just rumors that there were brown envelopes being passed around. I didn't say it, I heard it. Quote, rumor. But anyway, back to the matter. So, who benefited from Ellen requesting that, we shouldn't have municipal election? What was the cost benefit? Was there any analysis done to say, even with regards to the Constitution, was there any analysis done? Was there any attempt to find a budget to honor the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia? I want to know. Something went wrong somewhere between September 19, 2006, and I read the second article. The second article reads, and it is written by Lincoln G. Peters and Winston W. Paley. So, October 22nd, 2021, UDON, Monrovia. Monrovia City Mayor Jefferson Koji is considering proposing to the Liberian legislature to declare as an elected position the office of the mayor of all city council throughout Liberia to help enhance their working and function. This is Jefferson Koji in 2021. The suggestion by the ruling Coalition for Democratic Change Youth League chair comes ahead of the conduct of 2023 general and presidential election, in which his party, headed by incumbent President George Manuel Weah, is seeking a second 6-year term. Mr. Koji told journalists during a press conference Thursday, 21st October, that he is currently working on a proposal to present to the legislature, praying for its indulgence to declare as an elected position the office of the mayor of all other cities council in the country. And he continues, because of that, we are working with the legislature so that the mayor office and the city council become an elected office before the expiration of President George Manuel Weah tenure, Koji said. He suggested that if electing mayors and city council cannot be done in the entire country, the country's capital and some other cities should be given the opportunity to decide who the true administrators become. Nice. He noted that local government is cardinal and drives the economy of the country and city. We want operation funds for from international partners to come directly to us. Direct budgetary support from our partners, where the mayor has the authority to preside and implement the function, Koji said. At the same time, Mayor Koji said that the City Council have organized a citizen engagement board, which is collective working with 14 professional community, youth, and student community to provide their ideas how we can clean the green society. He noted that the 14 professional, all right, you understand what I'm trying to say here. So we're talking about an election, an electoral position that has been denied Liberian people for 2 decades. Yeah, 2006 to 2023. We are in 2023. And I must say that as much as I would say kudos to Jefferson Koji first. I must say that the attempt seems, a little lame, because you don't propose to you don't write a proposal to the legislature to have them do their job. That is the problem. Why is Jefferson Koji writing to the Liberian legislatures for a job they should do? It don't make sense. Somebody help me make sense of it. But I still applaud him for making the attempt. But that attempt was in 2021. We're in 2023. What happened? what's going on here? Are we going to continue to deny the right of the people to have their votes, to have the right to vote for those who make decisions for them? Why are we hiding this mayoral election? What is the purpose? It is good for Liberia. It is good for us. This municipal election probably will set the stage for us to be able to see performance when it comes to people who we elect into position. Because what it will do is that it will give us a greater pool of politicians, and their performance from the grassroots level will make the Liberian people to determine whether they can hit the Senate, the representative, or the presidency. That is how we cultivate leadership. You know, right now in Liberia, as far as I'm concerned, we've been dealing with the same people for the past 2 decades. Nothing changed. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Joseph Boyka, George Weah, Ellen Johnson, Uri Cummings, Joseph Boyka, George Weah. Nothing has changed. We've had the same representatives and senators in our legislature for over 20 years. Like Akaras Gray. Akaras Gray has been in that position for over 20 years. Go figure. Are you kidding me? Nobody knows that we're supposed to have mayoral election in the Republic of Liberia. But let me say this: the free ride is over. The free ride is over. I'm going to galvanize my brothers and sisters here in the diaspora. I want you to support me. This is a very important cause. I want Liberians in the United States to take advantage of the mayoral and municipal election. If you're in the United States, it is high time that we have influence on something. We can do it. I'm not running for mayor, but I'm going to make sure that whoever, and I'm requesting to people who I know, if they do run, I have good friends in the United States. That I went to school with, who can run for mayor of the city of Monrovia and win it. I'm not going to call names here, but you know yourself. You're capable. You've been doing things for Liberia. You've been going back and forth. We need people from the diaspora to take advantage of the municipal and mayoral election. The municipal election, we can influence that election, and that will cultivate leadership that we can, project to become better leaders. Because performance, if you perform good at the grassroots, there is a tendency you perform good at the top. But we do not have the capacity or the ability to vote for our municipal leaders because someone decided that they should just put it under the table and just table it, okay, we're just going to table it. But the free ride is over, like I said. If the Senate and the representatives cannot enact a law or come up with a resolution to reinstate the voting rights of the people of the Republic of Liberia, I will definitely start a petition. I will come to Liberia and I'm going to make sure that I get about at least 50,000 signature so that we can walk up to the Supreme Court. This is not going to be one of those things where we're going to do protest people with placard. This is going to be an intellectual process. We're not going to be like jump in the street and hold cards and no. This is going to be an intellectual process, and we're going to check your books, and we're going to see what's going on. It's high time. There is no way that us educated Liberians in the diaspora just going to sit around and allow our country to not have that real check and balance that we need. The free ride is over. Jefferson Koji will have to stand up. Jefferson Koji, if I was him, I would take advantage of this, because what it does for you, Mr. Koji, is that it puts you in a position to become a standard bearer of the CDC. I know it's your desire. I've been in Liberia many times. Every time I'm in Liberia, just I know your desire. You want to be president of the Republic of Liberia? Why not let's test you in the electoral process? You say you pray for the Senate to honor your proposal. I say don't pray. We're going to take it to them and they're going to do their work. And that's my message to the Liberian people. The Liberian people cannot be denied their right to vote. That is a very important constitutional right, and I need support. I need support for this cause. I need support for anybody. If you want to go start a GoFundMe for municipal election, because according to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, president, give her all her accolades, Nobel Prize winner, there was no budget, but it is not the presidency that makes the budget. You send your budget. You don't determine how the budget works. It's the legislature and they have they have the purse. They disperse money. So how can the legislature, how can the presidency tell the legislature who is the one disbursing money that we don't have money? It makes no sense. We need to find an answer to why. Why? Was there an amendment to the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia? I call upon all news organs, make it your business. The first person to give me a damn good news, I will put my address on this Facebook thing when I'm done. My email address. You get $500 for busting up that story for me. Thank you, my Liberian people. Have a wonderful day.